Greetings. Another video, Mystic Blue. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time watching my channel is all things spiritual. That's what I like to say. I'll do tarot readings occasionally. I'll do some spiritual videos, or I may just talk about some life pointers on this video, on this channel. So thank you for tuning in. If that's something that you're interested in seeing more of, hit the subscribe button before you check out. Hit the bell for notifications. The goal is to post at least once a week, up to 3 times a week. So today's video I'm really excited about because I wasn't really planning on doing this video until a friend suggested that I do it based off a Facebook post that I recently posted, and I got an overwhelming response by the men who responded on the post, and it was awesome. And then I had a friend say, you need to do a video on this, and I was like, great idea. So I'm doing a video because the I can't talk. I'm not editing. I don't edit my videos. I keep it rolling. So the overpouring responses blessed me like tremendously, because you just never know, right? So you're probably like, what is she talking about? You saw the title of the video and you're like, well, what do you mean? If you didn't see my Facebook post, if you don't follow me on Facebook, so I put up a meme that I actually saw another friend post, and it inspired me, and I was like, hey, is it okay if I post this too? Because this is wonderful, you know? And the meme basically said, dear men, how can we love you better? Honest answers. And then I put my own little words like, hey, just keep it real, 100% real. It's all about growth. What you gotta say? And literally over 100 comments on this Facebook post. A lot of people shared the post because it was really eye-opening. I shed a few tears in some of the comments. Some other ladies that I know did the same. They commented. I've gotten inboxes about how much it blessed them reading these comments, because we never really know. So I wanted to share this video because a lot of times we really don't know how men feel or what men think. And I think it's societal, and I just think we're always thinking men should always be strong, and that men are simple and they don't know anything and they don't have feelings, and there's some messages of if they show their feelings they're weak, whatever. All of this stuff that we need to change, because it's absolutely not true. And a lot of us wonder why we can't seem to gel or stay in healthy relationships or attract the correct partners or whatever. And it's really because we don't really communicate and understand men. And I think it's really important for us to understand what men are thinking and how they're feeling and what they really want. Same with women too, but this video is not for women. Maybe I'll do one for women, who knows. But I wanted to, a lot of the comments were similar. There were points that I went through all the comments, and I wrote down some very important points that I wanted to share in this video. Basically is what this video is about, just for all of us. And if you're in a relationship, cool, you can still get reminded of these points, because men are human too. Okay, that was one of the points. Actually, let me pull out my notebook here. That men are human too. There was a few comments that men said we're human too in their statement, and it made me think, like, interesting, because how many of us view men as something other than human? Like, we put so much on them and we forget that they are human too. There was a point that someone said that don't expect us to carry everything and not get tired. That goes around the human side, and it's like, yeah, we put so much on men. They have to be the providers. They have to be the breadwinner. I mean, this 2020, we got women making their coins too. I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying the pressure on men to be the provider, to always be there, to have the structure of the home. And can you fix that for me? Can you take that out for me? Can you change my tire? Which is awesome. However, we tend to forget that they're human too. And it can be a lot of pressure to hold all that, and they do get tired. So how many of us forget that? That's a great point. So that's one point that stood out, that men are human too. A big point that stood out, and I will say As you guys know, I'm a very vulnerable person. I don't mind sharing my stories and my lessons. Stop sending hints / be honest. I kind of took different comments and put that together. A lot of us women, we do that. We think men are mind readers and they know what we want, how we want it, when we want it. And we get upset that they didn't know. How did you not know that this is what I wanted, or this is where I wanted to go, or whatever it is? And, or we're like, we like give them energy. Like we want something. Then when they ask what's wrong, nothing. You want to go somewhere? Where do you want to go? I don't know. Just different things. Like, and then we get irritated. It's like, I'm trying to paint a picture here. It's like, we kind of tell them what we want, but we don't really all the way tell them what we want. There's a fear that's going on there. There was another comment. I'm not mentioning names on who commented what, just out of respect for them. Go read my Facebook post if you want to know. It is a public post. I am Patrice Stewart on Facebook, which is the government. The post is public, so you can read these comments, okay? So there was one guy who's talked about fear, which I feel has to do with the stop sending hints. Be honest. I feel like a lot of us women have fear. I'm getting fear of rejection. We have fear of rejection, fear that the man won't do what we want or won't understand or something of that nature. And it's like, be honest. Now, you never think that a man is like, stop sending hints. Be honest, okay? You never think that. You're like, I read that and I was like, oh, like you really want me to be honest? And the majority of the men that commented was like, yes, that's what they want. Women, be honest with your man. Stop sending hints, okay? And let me do a disclaimer. I am not a relationship expert. I don't have a degree in relationship counseling or anything like that. This is simply like putting up a Facebook post and getting responses from multiple men that were very similar. So that says something. So that's all this is. We just having a conversation and we just talking about this, okay? I'm not advising anything. I'm just saying this is what the men said. And then I'm pointing out how I've been in relationships, and it's all about growing and learning, okay? So before anyone be like, oh, you're not an expert. I'm not trying to be expert, boo-boo. What I am going to tell you, though, is that I have learned from my mistakes, and I've made a lot of them, okay? So, and I'll tell you some of these points, my mistakes I've made. So the stop sending hints, be honest. I can say personally there were times that I wasn't 100% honest because of fear of rejection or fear that they wouldn't understand, etc., or they wouldn't honor what I was feeling. And the majority of the men with the responses tell me that they will. We just have to be honest. Okay? We got another one. Don't assume. Let me drink some wine on that. Because I know I'm an assuming ass. And by the way, I do swear on my channel. Disclaimer, I swear. Okay? If that's something you don't like, you might not want to watch me. Okay? I swear. Okay? Oh, I said I swear. I assume. Not anymore. I used to be an assumer. You assume things. Perception's coming to me. Perception is crazy. Like, we think we may see something that's not what it is. There's another gentleman who commented and shared a story of his ex-wife, and there's a situation where she saw something and it wasn't like it was, and she reacted in a certain way. That's the way I just put the story together. It was more detailed than that. I know many times in the past in my relationships, I have assumed things. You see certain things, you think that's how it is. That's one way of assuming. Another way is like we assume that a man should be this, or a man should feel that, or a man should be this way. We have no idea what's going on in their heads, in their lives. We don't know what they dealt with that day. We don't know what happened at their job. We don't know anything. So don't assume is a big one, and that's both men and women. We're talking about men right now. Don't assume. That's what I'm not a man, but ask questions. That's what you do. Instead of assuming, you ask questions. Like, instead of assuming you know what's going on. Because most of the time, you're not correct, women. We're not correct. We're not correct. We think we know, and we don't. So we should, and this is not dragging women, but it is dragging women. We have to do better, right? If we want better. So don't assume. And I ask questions. Okay? Another pointer. Don't expect the world from your man. I kind of talked about that a little bit in the beginning, the human side of it. We do expect a lot from men. We expect them to be, some do, the breadwinner. We expect them to fix everything. We expect them to provide everything. We expect them to hold everything together. That is a lot. They are human. So men have spoken, okay? Don't expect the world from your man. That's all I'm going to say about that, okay? This is a big one, guys. This one, I had to learn the hard way about this next point. And a lot, if not all the men who commented said this. Most of them. And I paraphrase it, but stop making men pay for what other men did to you in the past. I'll repeat that. Stop making men pay for what other men did to you in the past. Like, how many times do we do this, ladies? How many times? And you know what? There's times that we do it and we don't even think we're doing it, or we don't even realize we're doing it, because we still have the past. We haven't released the past. We haven't healed it. We haven't let it go. So we're still there's triggers that happen, and we're assuming that this particular man that's in our life currently is going to be like the man in the past did. We're assuming he's going to cheat. We're assuming he's a liar. We're assuming he's not telling the truth, which is a liar. We're assuming he's going to be like the man from the past who did us wrong, okay? And there's some of us right in the beginning, we just got this. I personally am not like that any longer. Was I like that in the past? Absolutely. There were relationships that I shared in my other video about self-sabotage. I just assumed they would cheat, they would lie, because that's what I've been through. And it's like, you can't do that, because you are already destroying the relationship from the beginning. And I'm going to go into the next one because it ties into, which was a key that a lot of men said, love yourself more. That's where that comes from. If you're making the man, your current man, you're dating or you're with, pay for something that someone did to the past, you don't love yourself that much. I'm blinking. That's a tough one. You don't love yourself that much. If you are accusing him of things, if you're assuming things, all of these things that I've mentioned, you don't love yourself that much. So let's just stop there and let's say, get your love yourself on. I just made that up. Love yourself more. Get that in order. There's another gentleman who mentioned that too. Don't expect someone else to make you whole. Already be whole. Okay? That's loving yourself. So if you love yourself, honestly, I feel a lot of these things that I just mentioned won't happen as much. I'm not going to say it ain't going to happen at all. I'm going to give some space in there. As much. So, yeah, let's keep going. We're getting dragged, but it's all good. Because it's about growth. Because it's about growth, okay? If you're currently in a relationship, it's about growing and building a stronger relationship. If you're single, it's about being prepared for the person to come. And when he comes, none of this is going to happen. All right? Next pointer. Give what you want in return. And me, being who I am, I was like, well, I always used to do that. I always gave what I wanted in return. And then, no, you didn't. No, I didn't. No, you didn't, boo-boo, who's watching this. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You wanted him to provide the world for you and to carry everything and do everything, but you didn't want to get up and do this. You didn't want to clean this. I'm not, y'all know I'm very non-traditional. I'm not the, you need to cook and clean and pop out babies type of chick. That's not me. Okay? Not saying that's not beautiful, but that's not me. Not saying I won't ever do that, but if that's all you see me as, but that's a sidebar. What I'm saying in this is give what you want in return. You're expecting your man to be 100% there for you and all of this. Well, you need to do the same for him. You need to do the same for him. Okay? You're expecting him in whatever way that is. Let's go on to another point that I just added. I didn't put on this list, but it just came to me that it ties in love language. There was a gentleman who mentioned love language. Learn the love language. And I'm very familiar with the love languages and what they are. I just recently became familiar with it in the past couple of years doing my research. And that's a way you can give, like, in return. Whatever his love language is, some people like gifts, that's their love language. Some people like affection, that's their love language. Some people like to be told they're dope, they're beautiful, you're my king, whatever you want to say, I'm so proud of you, thank you, blah, 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 blah. That's a love language. Find out what his love language is and give that. Okay? There's another pointer that just came to me. Men like to be told, I love you. Not just I love you. I think people throw that word around. I'm not going to say I love you. Men like to be told I'm proud of you. Thank you. You're the best. You're dope. You're bomb. Whatever you want to say, but compliment them. Women, we always want compliments. Do you like my outfit? Do I look good today? But we're not giving compliments to our men because they're men. Oh, they men. They care about that stuff too. They want to feel special too. They want to be lifted up too. So that's giving in return. Okay? We got a big one. Big one. Listen. Okay, there's a gentleman who quoted Erykah Badu. I'm very familiar with that quote. When they asked her about men, she said she listened to them. I have read that. I follow her on Instagram. Erykah's my girl. So I'm very familiar with that quote. And there's a few men who spoke on listening. How many of us really do listen to our men? Men that we've been with in the past, because I'm currently single, so I say in the past, those who are currently in a relationship, how many of you actually listen to them? Or do you just always talk to them about you and what you want in your day and blah, 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 blah? How many of you shut up? Because women are known to talk more than men. How many of you shut up and actually listen to what they're saying? And even in a debate, because couples debate, couples have little arguments, whatever. Even in that, how many of you listen to understand instead of listening to reply? That's a different type of listening there. Are you listening to understand your mate? Or are you just listening so you can come back with something real quick and reply? Because you know you got to say what you got to say because you know what's up and he's just a man. Men want to be listened to. There was an overwhelming response talking about listening, ladies. I'm just the messenger. Okay? Respect is another point. Totally understand that. I'm a person now. I mostly prefer respect over love. That's just how I am. I'm like, you're going to respect me. I think it's just from my lineage and where I come from, past lives. That's another video. But men pointed out in this post, respect. How many of us women pop off and when we get mad, we really go in. That's why your mama just say some stuff that's just really crazy. You ain't done shit in the bed. I've never done that, but I'm just saying. You just going off, man. You ain't shit. You ain't you. How come you only bringing in this much money in and That's not respectful, ladies. That's not respectful. It's also a reflection of how much you love yourself too. And yes, I'm dragging you. And yes, I'm taking heed to this because all of this I have went through and I have learned the hard way and lost some really good people in my life. So I'm not saying I'm all that. I'm saying I have awakened to the truth from being like heartbroken from my ignorance. Okay? This is a Keep It Real channel. Okay? I'm a Keep It Real. Okay? I take full on responsibility for some of the relationships, not all. Some were just assholes. But next one, don't take out frustration on the men. We're emotional beings, ladies, so it's understandable. It's understandable that you want to take the frustration out because usually you hurt those who's closest to you when you ain't feeling too well. Men are tired of that. That was a lot of comments were talking about that too. Men are tired of you taking the frustration out of them. And if you don't know how to do that, if you just want to pops off like a Queen of Swords energy, I'm a Queen of Swords energy. Go for a walk. Go put your headphones on, listen to some music, and just tell your mate, hey, I just need to be alone. I didn't have the best day. I don't want to pop off on you because I love you. But I'm telling you right now, I just need to be left alone. That's the type of person I am and how I was in my recent relationship. I was just like, I just need to be left alone. Because if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to pop off. At least warn them. But I'm saying, men don't want you to take your frustration out on them. What do? You know what I'm saying? There was a point that someone said, I didn't write it here, but he said it and I was about to just like, oh, just cry. And I don't want to read the whole thing, but the last line he says, we love too, and we love you. I was like, it's like we forget that men love too. It's like we think they're these robots or something, and they don't love because they're not emotional beings like the woman, but they are. Society has taught men not to be, but they are. They love too, ladies, and they love you. Shout out to the person who said that. You know who you are. That blessed me when I heard that. I read that. I was like, I was about to lose it. Almost done. A few more points. I just spoke about emotions. So this is a point that a brother said. There might be emotional stuff that's hard for men to articulate. Okay? And I put that with another point someone said, and when they do, don't make it about you. Damn. I'm going to sip some wine on that. We forget, like I just said, that men are emotional beings too, ladies. And sometimes they can't articulate it though. Okay? So that's one part of that section, this statement. They can't articulate it. So that's where the listening comes in. That's where we pull back and we listen to understand. So we can understand what they're trying to articulate and not try to force it not try to force it in a way that how we would say it. Does that make sense? Because I feel like a lot of ladies, this will resonate too. Like, we'll try to like change the conversation or force the conversation. Oh, this is what you're trying to say? Or however we word it to how we would say it. Don't make it about you. It's not about you. Tough. Damn, I hate being dragged. But you know what? It's evolution. No bullshit in 2020. That's my hashtag motto. Evolution. It's not about you. Yes, you a queen. Yes, you a goddess. Yes, you fine and stacked. And everybody trying to holler at you. Yes, you got your paper, boo-boo. Yes, you educated and got degrees. Maybe a doctor. Yes, you can sing your ass off. Yes, you a dope-ass poet. Yes, you could cook your motherfucking ass off. But it's still not about you. That's all I got to say about that. Last point. Stop trying to change men. I think a lot of us know this now. That if we're trying to change someone, that's not the person for us. If you're with someone and there's something that you want to change, that's not the person for you. That's me, spiritually speaking. I feel spiritually goosebumps message. Because y'all know I'm an intuitive as well. That's not the person for you. Period. You should never want to change anyone. Your divine person, you should absolutely love everything about them, even the flaws. I don't know. I'm crazy enough to believe the flaws make you love them more. If you feel like you need to change somebody, then that's not the person for you, and you still don't love yourself enough. You still got some work on self to do because you're trying to change somebody else. You ain't looking at yourself. Woo, we getting dragged in this video. So those are the points that I highlighted, but there were so many beautiful messages, and I got dragged in the video too. I will say, throughout the years and losing beautiful people and self-reflection, I have evolved. I'm not the person I was, and a lot of these points I didn't do in relationships. So Thank you, men who commented, because this sheds some light on me, for me. And I know it sheds some light for other ladies. And this video is going to shed some more light for people, because we have to be accountable. We have to want to grow, because there's a lot of divorce. There's a lot of just a lot of things happening. And I feel it's because we're not communicating and we're not honoring each other. And so thank you, men, for this. I may be led to do a video for women and post something for women and do that, because we got some stuff to say too. You know what I'm saying? So don't think I'm bashing women and dragging women. Nah. It's both ways, but this is important because I feel like since we're labeled as the emotional beings, I feel men get forgotten a lot when it comes to this. I do. We don't listen to them. We don't honor them. We don't. We take our frustrations out on them. We expect them to be like robots and just do everything and not get tired. We forget that they're human. We assume things. We're not completely honest. We don't understand that they are emotional as well, but they may have a hard time expressing it. We make things about us with our diva asses. It's the truth. And that's okay. That's why the saying, the truth will set you free. So thank you guys for watching. Again, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, tarot readings, whatever. I do multiple things, but it is all things spiritual. Thank you guys so much. You have a blessed rest of your week.